What is going on, guys? I'd want to jump on very quickly because, as you can tell by the title, got some bad news, and I wanted to alert as many people as quickly as possible, as soon as possible. I haven't confirmed this. Obviously, the company isn't going to come out and confess this, but I removed. I had some suspicions yesterday. I wanted to dig into it, give them a little bit of time, but basically, I had a referral link, a referral code in some of my recent videos for some company that claimed to be a reseller of the Nebra helium miners, and the website was hntindoorminer.com. Yesterday, like I said, I got a little suspicious, I got a little fishy, so I just removed their link and the affiliate code and all that stuff just to be safe while I waited for them to answer my questions. And I'd asked some questions before. Their website had some lorem ipsum on it, which is, for those of you who haven't done web development before, it's common. It's just you throw up some Latin text just to fill in the spaces where you have, text on your website. And it's normally you then go back through and you fill it in with the actual text. There were some things that when I went through, it seemed a little weird, but being in business, I understand how it is, especially startups and stuff like that. Their story was that they said they purchased a bunch of Nebra miners months ago. They said that they had just received their shipment and that they were like rushing to, get the word out, and they were able to fulfill orders within a week. So I was kind of up in the hype. I had just purchased several miners from different companies because my intention was to try out the different helium miners. And for those of you who don't know what helium is still legit. I want to preface this by saying helium is legit. Helium miners are legit. Nebra is legit. It is this reseller who is claiming they were selling Nebra miners who I have reason to believe they are not legit. And that is HNTindoorminer.com. None of these other companies, this shouldn't reflect negatively on any of these other companies. These guys independently are scammers, as it appears. If I'm wrong and they send me an email that answers all my questions and they give me some kind of proof that they are legit, I will eat crow. I will make another video, apologize, and all that other jazz. But I messaged them last night and still haven't received an answer to my questions. The original story was basically that they just threw the website up very quickly. And like I said, I've been part of projects like that where you just hustle. My motto is done is better than perfect. So I understood. The images that they had weren't great, but I get it. The address that they used went to a house in San Francisco, but I've registered some of my businesses at houses before, so none of those things independently threw up any red flags. Now, another thing that would have looked a lot more suspicious had I not already gone through this process was for those of you who may not know, Bobcat Miners. They're another helium mining manufacturer. When you go through their checkout process, which I just did last week, they have you pay them in cryptocurrency. You pay them in Tether. I think it takes either USDT or USDC. I think I paid them in USDT. In any case, they don't have PayPal set up. They don't have a typical swipe a credit card. Now, Bobcat seems to be legit. There's a bunch of people with Bobcat miners, and they have reported that is just the Bobcat miners checkout process. Bobcat is one of the manufacturers recommended on the Helium website. Went right to the Bobcat website, went through the process. It was a bit of a pain in the ass, and I will do another video on that because Bobcat, get your ish together, because that's a stupid checkout process. Basically, you pay them in cryptocurrency, which is a pain, and I hate spending my crypto on anything. That money is supposed to be there for an investment, but I'm like, okay, I'm using it to buy a miner for crypto. It'll be worth it. But then I still haven't received a confirmation. It's been a week. So that's another video in and of itself. But I say that to say this. in hint or HNT indoorminer.com also have you pay them through cryptocurrency. Had I not gone through the Bobcat experience, I would have thought that was a major red flag. But then I saw and I was like, okay, I get it. These guys are in the crypto space. They're using, crypto as a payment method. Okay, I get it. So the payment process, which would have normally been a red flag, wasn't a red flag because I have seen other companies in this same space making crypto miners take, crypto as, the form of payment. So in hindsight, I should have dug a bit deeper. They were responsive initially. They were answering my questions. Everything was cool. They explained the fact that they just threw the site together. They're still working on it. And it was kind of, and the English in the emails was fine. So I had no reason to believe that it was like some out of country scammer or anything else like that. And yeah, I guess I was really more caught up in the excitement of getting a miner and their ability to get them out to me quickly. Because as many of you know, if you order a miner from the manufacturers, some manufacturers aren't even taking orders right now because they're so backlogged. But B, even the ones who are taking orders, they're not able to fulfill these orders for months, like 8-12 weeks is like some of the earlier ones. So unfortunately, I was a little bit too optimistic with that. It cost me, cost me some money, cost me some time, and it cost me some credibility. If any of you have used, that referral code that I put out there, I should have waited until I received the miner. They said that it was coming this weekend. I got a little excited. Fortunately, I did shoot some videos that were specifically promoting that company. Fortunately, I didn't post those videos yet. I did have the inkling that I should hold off before I mention those companies. If you look at my videos where I've talked about Helium, I haven't mentioned that company by name. I didn't post that video yet. I was like, I'll wait until I get the miner in hand and then I'll post the video promoting them. But yeah, I got caught up in the hype. And I wanted to show you guys this, number one, to warn you guys of them specifically, but also to warn you of anybody. There's, especially if they're taking crypto, unfortunately, especially if they're taking crypto as a form of payment and that's their only payment. It's one thing if they have PayPal as an option, but if they don't have any option other than crypto, should be a red flag, and you need an authoritative third party to be endorsing them. And again, make sure that it's the right site, because again, Helium is legit. Helium mining is legit. Nebra miners are legit. This doesn't reflect negatively on any of them. It shouldn't. So don't get that confused. I actually have 2 Nebra miners ordered. Unfortunately, I got to wait quite a bit longer to get those than I would have for this one if it was coming through. But those companies are all legit from what I understand. Again, as sure as I can be based on the fact that Helium has endorsed them, that other people have received, Bobcat miners and stuff like that. Bobcat's the one that takes the cryptocurrency. So that was the kind of iffy one, but there's videos on the Bobcat miners. But in any case, be very weary whenever you're sending your money to anybody. At least PayPal has like a refund process where you can file a complaint and get your money back. And it gives you somewhat more legitimacy. As much as I hate PayPal, it does make it a little bit more legit. If you're able to pay with a credit card, you can challenge it. But with cryptocurrency, unfortunately, the reality of that payment method right now is once it's gone, it's gone. There's no one to complain to. There's no refund process. There's no appeals process. So just want to put that out there. I see some comments. Let me see. You got 6 on order. Where'd you order them from? Let me know. Animal Names Therapy. Please tell me you didn't get them from HNTindoorminer.com. I'd feel super guilty for having them. Again, I didn't mention them in my video. Thankfully, I had the feeling not to post the video where I was talking about them, but it made sense. I was like, okay, there's obviously going to be resellers in this space. It makes sense because unlike typical miners aren't based on a network or being nodes in a network. So that's one of the big differentiators. Normally, you wouldn't see people reselling traditional miners for a reasonable price because those are basically money-making machines. And if I have a bunch of traditional miners, I could just have a warehouse full of them and I'm just printing money, right? Well, the inherent beauty of the Helium miner and the whole process is you're providing a network. So it doesn't make sense to have a room full of those miners because they're basically all feeding off of each other. It's like having a bunch of fishing poles in one area. It'd be better if you spread out around the lake or around the boat or whatever, and you are able to, not compete with the same fish. So with helium miners, if there is a manufacturer, they have interest in selling the miner itself because they only have so many locations they can place them themselves. And then with that opens up the opportunity for resellers. Then it makes sense for someone to buy them in bulk, maybe get a special price, put them in a warehouse. And then when they're so scarce, they can deliver them faster because it's coming right out of their warehouse because they bought them months ago, which is what this company's story was. And they can deliver them faster than the manufacturer, in which case it makes sense for you to pay a little bit more because these are money printers. So the sooner you get your money printer, you're able to start plugging it in and making more money faster. And I mentioned that in another video. So it did make sense that there are resellers in this space. And I'm not going to try to scare away from other resellers or any other, but I do want you guys to realize I got. They tricked me. I got hyped up. I got excited. There's the helium miners. I'm seeing these people making crazy money. And I know that my miners are probably a few months away at best. And it was a bit discouraging. I've also heard that it's not a good idea to be buying these miners off of eBay because then it requires people to, a lot of times they're used miners. You set it up at your place, they have to transfer over ownership. And if they don't do that and it's plugged in, it's basically mining for them. So, and your choice is either to leave it plugged in or to throw it away. So, unfortunately, that's not the best route to take either. There's some dangers with that. So I was like, all right, well, at least this makes sense. They're resellers. They got a warehouse full of them. Okay. But yeah, in hindsight, them only taking cryptocurrency, big red flag, especially without anybody else endorsing them. And fortunately, I just bought one. It was, I think $500 or something like that. So it wasn't, sorry, cracking my neck, wasn't a great deal. Now the other miners I purchased, I bought 2 from each of the manufacturers. So, those expenses were a bit more. And, fortunately those look like they're going to be legit. Although Bobcat, if anybody wants to send this video to Bobcat miners, it'd be really nice. It's, I think it's been over a week. Still have no confirmation. I've gone back and forth, giving you guys the transaction ID and all that other jazz. Bit of a pain in the ass for me to be giving you. I think Bobcat has, I forget how much those were, but probably about $1,000 because I bought 2 of them. It'd be really nice if you were to just take some time out of your day to confirm your order after the 5 emails that I've sent you asking for a confirmation and filling out the Google. That is another thing about Bobcat. Their little form. So you place the order, and then what they want you to do, you place the order, then they send you an email saying, okay, you have an hour to send us this amount in crypto. So then you got to hurry up and send that to them. So it's easier for them to link the orders together. Theoretically, if you sent them the money tomorrow, it's hard for them to link, that money is credited towards this order. I get that. Did that, sent them a confirmation, or sent them an email asking for a confirmation, didn't get it, got some generic email asking for the transaction ID. And I was just like, okay, here's the transaction ID. Then I got another email saying, hey, fill out this form with your transaction ID and this other information. And I was just like, okay, why'd you send me an email saying you need my transaction ID when you want me to fill out this form? Whatever. Fill out the form. The form's a Google form, which I use Google form for my, my consulting clients, but that's with the message of, hey, if you have no money and no skills and no resources, here's an easy way for you to make a form online for people to fill out. I don't expect a legit company to be using Google Forms. So Bobcat, get your stuff together. On top of that, I'm using that form after the back and forth debacle with the emails based on the fact that you guys only want to take cryptocurrency, give me no other option of payment method. It just doesn't seem legit. It's not how I would run a company. And then on top of all of that, it's over a week. I haven't heard a confirmation. I didn't want to put them on blast right away. I try to be really, understanding and accommodating to startup businesses and stuff like that. I understand they're super busy, but there's no way that they're so busy that they can't take care of their customers. And if for any of you who are in business, if you're ever at a point where you're too busy to take care of your existing customers, stop taking on new customers, because you are putting a rope around your neck. You don't realize it, but you're putting a rope around your neck and you're walking off a cliff, because it's going to be a cascading effect of negative reviews and people getting pissed off and going on YouTube or going on Yelp and just blowing you up. And then it's going to be a bunch of other people chiming in saying, yeah, same thing happened to me. Yeah, same thing happened to me. Yeah, same thing happened to me. And then what do you think is going to happen to your reputation? Now you're done. I've seen these companies do this on Yelp where they grow too quickly. Other meal prep companies, they grow too quickly. They ruin their reputation because they're focused on acquisition, not on retention and taking care of their existing people who have already given them money. And then when the new person's walking up with their money and they see some kind of a review that says these guys are a scam, they're a ripoff, they don't care about you, they don't take care of you once you give them your money, they put that money right back in their wallet, or they take that money across the street to your competitors. So Bobcat, get your shit together. I really hope your miner is super impressive, because I would love to do a great review on it. But if it's like neck and neck with the other miners I'm ordering, Bobcat, I'm going to burn you. Get your stuff together. I'll give you another chance. Apologize, fix it. I understand. But as of right now, I wouldn't deal with Bobcat. The one reason to go with Bobcat is because their ordering process and their payment process sucks so much that theoretically they're not getting as many orders as everybody else who has an easier payment method. So that's the only reason that I went with them. Diversified the orders. Yeah, that's smart, man. Yeah. Reach out to me, man. I might be able to, pick up some Dubai tiles off of you, depending on all that other stuff. And then here comes Swolenormous. I know he's gonna tell me I told you so. This dude, super bullish on Bitcoin. Everything else is just garbage to him. And honestly, he's converting me. I'm playing around with way too many altcoins. And the message that I'm learning right now from listening to a bunch of smarter people is Bitcoin has historically won and beat everything. I do want to support these new projects. I am very excited about Helium, but I am starting to come to see the light, Swolenormous. So you're right. You didn't even have to say it. I know you're just thinking it. You're right. He's thinking, I told you so. All right. What other comments we have here? Yeah. You email me? Make sure you did. Yeah, it's part of the growing process, man. This is going to make me more cautious. So next time when I'm dropping 10 grand on something, I'm going to do my due diligence. A few $100. All right. You got me. But now I got you, because everybody who's watching this, I'm going to do my best to make sure as many people know HNTindoorminer.com is a scam. And I'm going to keep an eye out. If I see anybody else claiming that they're reselling any of the miners, I wouldn't even imagine that they're going to stick to Nebra. But and I see the advantage. They were smart, because Nebra just mentioned that they're no longer taking orders last week. So the demand for Nebra went up. Nebra's got great reputation. So they picked the right brand at the right time, threw up a website, and they came across my radar at the right time. And I was jonesing. I was like, man, I wish I didn't buy all those other miners last week. I could have thrown all that money into these miners. Then I used that profit to buy those other miners. And oh man, I'm such an idiot. Thank God I'm an idiot. Why wouldn't it be suitable for the one problem as far as Nebra, the Helium stuff would be? There does need to be a network. So if you're in an area that doesn't have any other Helium miners, it would be an issue. What I would do is probably, and I'm not sure exactly how this would work, but I would probably buy up a bunch of miners and create my own network. I think they have to be like 300 to 500 meters apart, ideally. So that's what I would do. If you're in an area that has like absolutely no network, find a buddy's work, someone else's apartment, someone else's house, and start setting up your own network. I think. And it also, Nebra is setting up the Internet of Things, basically. So it's the internet for your smart devices and everything that run off the internet. I think even, vehicles that are running off the internet. So you need both. You need other nodes and verification within the network of other miners, and then also people using it. So you don't want to do it out in the middle of the country where there's nothing but cows, because cows don't use too many smart devices last I checked. But as long as there's people in that area using these devices, and you can go on the Helium website, they have a section where you can check the existing network. You could see where people are. You might be surprised. There's a handful here in Boca. I wasn't really sure how popular it is, but there's hundreds of thousands of these miners on order, which is good, because that means that if you're not part of the network yet, or it's a weak network and there's not a lot of people around you, give it some time, and there's only going to be more and more and more, especially as the word gets out and the manufacturers are able to catch up with the production, the order demand. Let's see. Yeah, man, I put it all out there. When I make mistakes, I learn my biggest lessons from mistakes. I try to kill my ego every opportunity I get, and apologizing and admitting when you messed up is poison to the ego. And the more you weaken your ego, the clearer your mind is. And also, I legitimately want to benefit everybody out there. So I love sharing my wounds and my mistakes with y'all. I appreciate you appreciating that, Swole. And guys, check out Swole, dude. This he's on another level. I don't even know how to describe him, because it's not just health and fitness stuff. It's mindset, it's lifestyle, it's America, it's muscles, bacon, long, beautiful locks. This is basically Thor's superhero. Like, Thor wants to be this dude when he grows up. So check out Swolenormous. Very entertaining stuff. I'm not familiar. I've heard of Pi. I have not. I haven't got into mining anything else. Helium was the first one I wanted to jump into, just because, number one, I support the project. I think it's a great idea. But then also it just seems so easy. And I'm like, right now, I'm all about automating, and stuff that doesn't take a lot of my time, stuff that doesn't take a lot of education. I was really attracted to Helium, still am very attracted to Helium, because it's basically plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi, connect it to an app, forget about it, and just keep making money. So I'll look into, I'll check out Pi. I definitely like the number Pi, and I like the dessert Pi. So I'm a Pi guy. And if I do get into Pi, what I learn about Pi, I will share with y'all, especially if I make more mistakes with Pi, but I'm going to do my best to avoid those mistakes. But yeah, HNTindoorminer.com. If there's anybody out there who has any hacking abilities, I mean, I wouldn't want to recommend anything nefarious, but yeah, those guys, they got some bad karma coming to them. But we'll see. Maybe they're stuck in traffic, and they had an emergency, and the wife's delivering babies all night. I don't know what it is, but if they give me some email where it legitimizes everything, and they take a picture of the warehouse full of Nebra miners and whatever else, and they like I said, they prove that they're real, I'll be the first one to come right back on here with another live announcement saying, I was wrong. I jumped the gun. These guys are legit. But as of right now, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it swims like a duck, it's probably a duck. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to get back to my ever-growing list of to-dos. I apologize if anybody went with them based on my recommendation. I wish there was some way to make it right, and I'm right in the boat with you. So, unfortunately, can't just trust all these YouTube people. They don't know everything. Best of luck, guys. Let me see. Every 24 hours on your phone, doesn't drain your battery. All right. I'm going to check out Pi. I tell you what, keep an eye out for, I'll download Pi right now. I could push a button every 24 hours. I push my fiance's buttons like all the time. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you didn't jump in on the HNTindoorminer.com scam, and I will keep you guys posted with any developments. Like I said, if it comes to fruition, if Pi looks like it's fun, and any other, when I eventually get my other Helium miners, because like I said, I'm still very bullish on Helium. I still dig the project. I'm just very bummed out that I lost some money And I'm more bummed out that now I still got to wait a few months for my miners, because like the money sucks, a few $100, but I was really excited to be getting a miner this weekend. Bummer. Peace.